Hi guys, I'm Dawn Robles and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I am so super stoked to share today's project with you. We are going to create a handbag. Now, I don't know if y'all have seen those Vendula London handbags, but they're the bomb, let me tell you. So they depict scenes on the front of their purses. There's diners, there's cafes, there's bookstores, there's safari themes. There's a queen theme. Of course, right? Being in the UK, there should be a queen theme. And they just really help accessorize or add a little bit of pop to your outfit. I'm not promoting it. I don't work for Vendula or anything, but I truly love their handbags. And when I seen that Let's Go Shopping set in our annual catalog with the dies and the designer series paper, then I knew I had to create this handbag. And it is so cute. So take a look at it. Boom, here it is. Little fun scene. Like I said, here's your handbag. It does open up. Got your pocket on the inside, and they are just fabulous little handbags. Not little, it's pretty good size. It's 8 inches by 5 inches, so it holds quite a bit of stuff. Let me put this little key tag in front again. I'm going to show you how to make this scalloped canopy. We're going to go ahead and build this scene. And you can do pretty much any take with this bag. Again, I just really loved what I seen with the Vendula. And then we were going to the Barbie premiere movie, so my girls really, even though they're teenagers, they wanted to go see the Barbie movie. And so I created another little handbag to go with that. So this one was really fun. I just downloaded the Barbie right off the internet. They had some free ones you could download, so I did that. And then they could put their Skinny Pop and their gummies and all of this stuff in the bag for the movie. So it was a lot of fun. It was something you have to see if you have daughters. The other thing before we get started is I just want to let you guys know that the new holiday or the mini catalog goes live September 6th, which is coming up, or it may have passed already, who knows. But here's the catalog. If you don't have a copy and you need a copy, just let me know and I'll put it in the mail. Now, enough rambling on. Let's go ahead and get started making today's project. Okay, like I said, today we're going to go ahead and use the Let's Go Shopping. Pretty much we're going to use more of the dies than the stamp set. So to create my name of my little shop that I created, I just called it Hello Books. So that's all I stamped in. I went ahead and embossed this and just cut around it, just fussy cut around it. And then I added a piece of silver foil just to give it a little more dimension. We are also going to be using the die, the scallop die from the Color and Contour set. This is what you're going to use to create your canopy here. I used the designer series paper to get my scene here. So there's a bunch of different, I used a lot of it already, so I'll show you some of it. So this is one side. This is a side we're going to use to create our background. And again, I just did a lot of fussy cutting, so I picked out the bookstore, but there's all kinds of different sceneries here, and of course, as always, it's double-sided, so if you don't want to stamp, you've got paper right here. You can do your fussy cutting and be done with it. So I'll show you some of the designs here. This side was great to like make sidewalks and stuff. And then your books and your paints and all your crafty stuff. So that's what I did. I just fussy cut some of those items out of there. And then I'm going to go through the dimensions real quick with you. Our dies will cut out all of these little pieces. There will be like some fussy cutting to do, but like you can use your designer series paper and just cut some of this stuff out. These are dies here. So I'm going to set this out of my way and bring in some of the pieces that we're going to need. So you're going to need 2 pieces of Night of Navy cardstock. Those are cut at 7.5 by 11. You'll need 2 pieces of that. For your lid, you're going to need a piece that is 3.5 by 8. And then for your handle, I used 1/2 inch by 11. Then you're going to need a piece of basic white that is cut at 2 by 6. And then for the front of your purse to create your background scenery, this is cut at 5 by 8. And then if you want a little pocket inside of your purse, you can cut this any size you want. I wanted mine to fit a gift card and have just a little extra wiggle room, so I cut this at, let me see, 2.5 by 4.25. If you cut it 2.5 by 4 and score 1/4 inch on 3 sides, that will fit a gift card perfectly. So let's go ahead and get started. Bring in my Simply Scored scoring tool, one of my most favorite things for the craft room, one of my favorite tools for the craft room. And to create your inside pocket, all I did is I scored at 1/4 inch on 3 sides. So very simple. And like I said, you can make your pocket any size you want. I'm going to set that aside. For my handle, I'm going to score that at 1 inch and 10 inches. For my lid, I'm going to score on the 3.5 inch side, and I'm going to score at 1 and at 1.5. Okay. And then on my 7.5 by 11, on the 7.5 inch side, I'm going to simply score that at 5 inches. Then I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to score at 8 and 10.5. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my ruler, and I'm going to come over to my Simply Scored board, and I'm going to, let me think here, I think I did it at, lined that ruler up at 3.5, let me think. 3 3/4. And I learned this trick watching Sam Calcutt from the UK. She puts these little gussets in her purse, and it is fantastic for helping your purse close but still be able to open it. And does that make sense? Probably not. Okay, so I lined my ruler up here at 3 3/4 and made that plumb against there, and I'm going to score down until from the 9 to I hit my ruler, and then 9.5 till I come down to my ruler, and then I'm just going to make a little score mark going across, lining those two up. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the other piece and do exactly the same thing. So on the 7.5 inch side, we're going to take that down 5 inches. We're going to rotate it, score it at 8 and 10.5. Going to take our ruler, line that up at the 3 3/4. Put that up. And then I'm going to go from 9 down to my ruler, and then from 9.5 down to my ruler, and then I'm going to come across my ruler. It'll be a little bit bumpy, but you'll get the gist of it. Okay, like so. And again, I definitely got that technique from Sam Calcutt. Totally amazing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler again, and then from this corner to this corner, I'm going to put a score line. So from here to here. So I'm going to line it up there, pull my ruler, make sure. And then I'm going to add that score line. Then I'm going to come over to this side and do exactly the same thing. If I can see. Did I get it? No. Well, heck. So I'm going to try that again. Okay, and it's hard to see when I choose this color, but so what you've done is you've created this kind of triangle effect. And then you're just going to do that on the same, this one a little deeper. It's really hard to do it on camera and not get your head in the shot here. Make sure I'm... Okay, and then I'm going to do it the same on okay, so again, there you go. I'm a little bit off, but you guys get the gist of it. So you've created a gusset here, which helps the bag open and close really nice. I love it. Okay, so the scoring for that project is done. Now what we're going to do is, what should we do first? Let's go ahead and cut our scallops. Let's get that done. So I'm going to bring in, just so I can show you what I did here. So I'm going to take my lid, and on your 2-inch section here, I'm going to take the scallop and I'm going to put it to the very bottom. And hopefully I can get this right. Believe it or not, it's very, very dark in my office right now. So just going to line it up, and I'm going to tape it down in place so it doesn't move. Don't want it to move. And then since my plate is pretty messed up, I just go ahead and put a piece of copy paper over it. And then I just run that through. Bring it back. And pop this up. And then I'm going to line this first one up. Yeah. Cut my paper and let me get another piece of Post-it tape here. Then I'm going to light this up, and this will pretty well, it'll just kind of fold right into the grooves right there, so it's very easy to realign. And then I'm going to make sure that is where we want it to be. And then I'm going to run it through again. Like so. Probably shook the table too, huh? I hate die cutting on camera because I always shake the table. I haven't got that part down yet. So anyway, we've created our canopy. Now to create the white stripes in our canopy, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our 2" by 6" piece here, and we're going to do the exact same thing, making sure that you line that die up at the very bottom. There's a lot of tape today. So I'm going to line that right up at the bottom. And here. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to run it through my Big Shot. Oh, I'm so sorry, I know. I hope nobody's getting sick. Okay. And we've got that, and I forgot to bring in my cutting board. So I'm just going to clip that ever so lightly. And then we have those. Where did I put, oh, here's my paper cutter. Okay, and then when we want to line these up, we're going to go ahead and just cut them using our cutting board. And this was real simple. So I just lined the groove up with the groove in here. And you can really eyeball it when you're going to cut 4 of those. Just like so. Then you're going to have these 2 pieces left, and that is going to be, I'll show you the technique to do that. So we're just going to get that little stripe right there. Not that you would have to, it's just that I'm a little bit strange with that stuff. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to go ahead and fold and burnish our score lines here. And then we're going to go ahead and attach our pieces just like that. You can use liquid glue, you can use your Stampin' Seal, whatever works best for you. I'm just going to use liquid glue, that way I can slide it around where I need it to be. And then we just go ahead and line those pieces up just like that. Okay. And then I just skipped every other one, that way the blue shows. And I did this in a yellow too, and it was really, I was just doing a tester and I didn't think I'd really like it, but I really did like the yellow one. It was very pretty. And so even though the canopy looked like it's hard, I hope you all find it very, very easy to do. I love making canopy cards, and I hope they never retire this die. So I like to do like the bakery and the bakery cards and all that fun stuff. So and then just line that up. Okay, and then for this little piece, for me it just looked very unbalanced, so I needed that little piece. I know, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm actually going to line. I'm actually going to run a bead of liquid glue right there, and I'm just going to take this extra piece that I had here and add it right there, and then I will make sure it's straight. Let it dry, and then I'll just cut that extra piece off. And I did not realize we have so many shadows going on. I told you it's been a while since I've been in front of the camera. So now we've basically done our lid, and we've created the canopy look. Just go ahead and take your scissors. I should probably use a bigger pair. Just go ahead and take your scissors, line them up right against your navy blue, Night of Navy, and just cut it right off. And there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and fold and burnish the base of our handbag here. And then for this, we're going to just gently use our fingers, especially since I got a little bit off here. And then we'll just gently use our fingers again. And see, this side was perfect, so it just naturally bent into place. This side I messed up a little bit, so I just got to play with it a little bit. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Fold and burnish. Okay, we're going to just bend that in with our hands. Bend this in with our hands. There we go. Much better. Okay, then we're going to bring in our scissors and we're going to cut up our score lines. So just going to cut up that score line, making sure that the score line is gone, and then you can put a slight wedge in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to wedge a little bit out of the bottom, and then just a real tiny wedge at the top there. So that's what your piece should look like. And same thing on this piece. Oh my. Can you tell I have seriously not been crafting very much since I've gotten home? So it's been, well, since April when my dad had everything happen, and I hadn't felt like crafting, so I just hadn't been in here, and all of a sudden I got the crafting bug again, so I'm in here sharing lots of fun stuff with you guys. And then again, so we just have those nice little wedges there. Now, this is our glue tab, like always, and you can do tear and tape or you can do liquid glue, whatever works best for you. I am typically a tear and tape girl, I'm not gonna lie, but today I'm using liquid glue. And I should bring in my glue mat, but I think I took it downstairs to wash, so hopefully protect your work surface. Whatever you do, protect your work surface. And then I'm just going to line up my score lines at the bottom here. So you want this even, that way your bag will be nice and even. And then I'm just going to glue those together. Okay. Now, if you're going to put heavier stuff in here, I highly recommend using the tear and tape. It is very strong, although our liquid glue is extremely strong as well. I just prefer using the liquid glue. Now, you can do two things. You can go ahead and add your lid prior to closing the box, or you can close your lid, or you can go ahead and put your box together and insert your lid later, which is what I'm going to do. But I am going to take just a little tiny wedge out of my 1-inch panel back here. So it'll just slide in there better. So you can, well, let's just go ahead and do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add again usually tear and tape girl, but this one I want it to be perfect. So I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to line this up. Like so, just right on top of the score line. So the base of your bag will come right underneath your score line. That way you can still bend it and it'll give you this 1/2 inch right here. Okay. And then let's go ahead and build our pocket in there before we close it up. It's a lot easier to put it in. So as you remember, you scored on 3 lines. So we're just going to, well, let's fold those because those are little. And again, you can make this pocket any size you want. You can put in 1/2 inch tabs if you want. I just wanted something very simple with a little bit of movement so I could put cards in and out of there. I had done one of these for one of my clients. She'd really liked one of the housewarming gifts I had given her when I sold her house, and then that was a while back, and she called me and she's like, hey, where did you get this? So I surprised her and I just made this little bag and I put some washcloths and some Bath and Body lotions and soaps in there for her, and she loved her little handbag. So great little gifts. So I was just folded those in, cut the little tabs, and then I'm just adding some glue, and then I'm just going to position that right underneath the lid. You can put it anywhere you want. This, where I put it here, as you can see, it's kind of close to the lid, so that will allow the gift card in it to get in and out of there very easily. So you got that, and then just slide it right in there. Okay, and then that's done. We just got to close up our box. So I'm just going to take a little more glue, run it on that last glue tab, fold it over, before I press down, just make sure everything is lined up, that your score lines are lined up. There you go. There's the basis of your bag. Okay. Now to get the completed look on the bottom of the bag, I recommend folding in the larger tab first. That's going to give you a finished look on the inside of your box rather than folding the tabs and gluing. So it gives it definitely a more finished look. And then all I'm going to do is add some more glue. I'm going to be generous with my glue here. That's already drying over there. It's a little bit warm in my office. And then I'm just going to fold those tabs in, fold that back, set it down, take your bone folder or your ruler or whatever, and just press those tabs down. That way they get nice and adhered. And then you can just, again, tear and tape, liquid glue, whatever works. And then just line that up, making sure that you're nice and square on the bottom, which if you put your box together, lining up your score lines, your box should be nice and square. Okay, again, same thing. Gonna open that up and press that down. And we have created our box. Now you can close this several different ways. I'm using magnets today, but you can use Velcro dots if you want. I just wanted mine to look finished when they open the bag. So if you have a Velcro dot, it doesn't have that finished look. I don't think so. We'll save our handle for last, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my 5x8 and all my little pieces here. And I think I probably should have put more of this stuff together. So again, I just took my Hello Books and I did a white embossing, and you can use glue dots here. My liquid glue's right here, so I'm just using that. And then I cut a piece of foil so I made my sign that was 2 by 1/2 inch, and then I took my foil and I made that, I think, 1/8 of an inch bigger all the way around. Oh, maybe 1/4 of an inch bigger. And that's just creating the closure for my purse. And then I'm just going to build the scene. Now I used the die cuts out of here, and this was just like a little vine. And if you want it with more dimension, so I took just the potted stamp and I just kind of stamped up here to give it a little more dimension. So we could do that as well. I'm taking up a whole lot of your time here. So in the stamp set here, I just used the top of this potted plant. And I got that right here. Let me bring in a piece of scrap paper, if I have any. And then my shaded spruce. And I'm just going to, like I said, just stamp up this little top piece, and then I'm just going to kind of add a little dimension to this. Okay, that's all I did for that. Simple. I will take this off and put my Hello You back on. And then I'm going to go ahead and build my scene. So I had already fussy cut some of this, and it was just best to kind of lay everything out before I glue anything down. Give you a little room here. Now I cut my bench right here. I cut that out of crumb cake, but it looks too clean to be an outside bench. So I'm going to bring in my crumb cake and one of my sponge daubers. And I'm just going to kind of sponge him up a little bit, make him look a little bit dirty. I think I need a new sponge dauber. There, that looks a little bit better. Take my bench and kind of line that up here. And then my light pole. So what I did to create it looking like there was, you know, a little light behind it, all I did was I took my blends, and you can take your watercolor markers or whatever you want, and I just made, literally, I just kind of went like that with my pale papaya, and then I took my, actually you think I used my light Daffodil Delight and just kind of blended it. And then if that wasn't dark enough, then you could just take a little pumpkin pie. I would definitely use the light here. And it'll all blend. As long as you keep everything wet and work really quickly, it kind of blends really nice. And then I'm just going to kind of pull colors to the side, and it'll start blending. It's magic. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy and turn that backside out, and just add a little glue, and then plop it right down. And then I will just fussy cut around that once it's nice and dry. So I'll set that to the side. And kind of get everything lined up here. So I'm going to do a bench and the light pole, and then I'm going to do the bookstore. And then I think I'm going to lay this right on top of the bookstore. It's just kind of playing, you know, just kind of building your own scene, whatever you want. Going to kind of do that. Flip that upside down, or I'm going to get glue everywhere. And then I want this canopy to bounce out. So this was like on the side of the paper, you know, it wasn't like a full print. So I just am going to fussy cut that canopy right off this building. And you can even save this and top this on some other print. Let's see. And I hate to fussy cut, so if I can do it, you guys can do it. Okay, so there is that canopy, and I'm just going to take dimensionals and pop it up. Yeah, let's put one in the middle. Let's go crazy with them. And then I'm just going to pop it right over the existing one, just so it gives it a little dimension there, you know? But don't put it on crooked. Okay, so we got that. And then the stamp set comes with canopy to cut out. So what I did is I cut these pieces out. This is Calypso Coral with Cajun Craze. And I used our adhesive backing when I cut this piece out. So it's already got the glue. I don't have to try and worry about that. And then I'm just going to line that up right here. Like so. Well, maybe not. There we go. Like so. And then I will pop that on top of this door right here. And I think one dimensional should do that. And I'm just going to kind of pop that like so. And continue laying out. I'm going to put my chalkboard here, and I think it needs some, definitely needs some vines. I think it'll be easier to glue these two pieces together. And then again, I will pop up the chalkboard, so I'll put that on a dimensional. And I'm do that. Have that go to the side. And then I cut out a flower pot. The dies work with the designer paper on this one as well. We're going to pop that up on dimensional as well. And then let me grab some. And I put our bench. We're going to put some mini dimensionals on that one. Okay, now I think it's just time to fussy cut this. This should be nice and dry. Set these aside for now. And if I was smart, I could have even cut this a little bit tinier, but I just grabbed a piece of whatever scrap paper I had. I didn't have to go all the way to the top. And when you're fussy cutting, you should always just move your object, but this is kind of dainty, so you can see I'm having a moment. There we go. So it kind of just looks like there's a little bit of light burning in there, if you can see that. And then we're just going to start gluing everything down. I like to lay it out before I glue it down, because we want to make sure, you know, that we have everything in the right, kind of in the right vicinity. So the easiest thing to do is to be to glue the pull down first. I think I'll take these tweezers. Just put my light pull down. And then I'll go ahead and pop up my bench. Sorry for the length of the video, but I should have just put this all together before I started, but I didn't, so. Anyway, I hope everyone had a really great Labor Day. I spent it at home doing laundry and cooking. Okay, and I'm going to add my bookstore. How many of you miss like picking up a book and holding it and reading it? I don't like to read on the internet. I like to, or online, I like to actually have a book and in my hand. I just find it so much more relaxing, and my eyes don't get as tired, and I guess I'm just old school like that. And I'm just going to pop this flower pot in between the two buildings, and I'm going to glue my little vines. Down. I just needed a little texture behind that chalkboard, you know? And then I'm just going to pop that up, and then we've built the front, the seam for the front of our purse. Before we adhere that to the box, let's see, I'm going to take two. Since I have a long closure, I'm actually going to do 2 magnets, one on each side. So the best way to adhere these magnets, which you can get at Amazon, they're just the neoprene magnets. I'm going to add a glue dot. Da, da, da. Maybe not. Add my glue dots. And then I'm just going to kind of close my bag to kind of see where you want it a little bit. Just a little bit. Hello books there. Probably want one about right there. Move this one just a little bit. And you want to make sure that they're straight. If you're not, your closure will be crooked, and we don't want that. And then we will add glue dots to the back and hope like crazy that I do this the right way. Press that down, then I'm going to slide it to remove them. Okay, and now I can adhere my seam to the front of my handbag. Okay, and then I'm just going to line this up because it fits perfectly on the front of my bag, all the way to the bottom, to the sides. And then since I've already put my bag together, make sure you get a good pressure where the magnets, uh-oh, did one slip? No, there they are. Now you've got the front of your bag. Is that so cute, or what? I'm gonna say or what. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add more glue dots, and we'll find our magnets. And the good thing about these magnets is that they are very, very strong magnets, so they typically will find themselves. You just kind of run it over it and it'll suck it down. And okay, so then I'm going to close my box, making sure I line up the sides right here. And then I'm just going to, it'll suck it right to where it needs to be. which I'm a little bit off, but that's okay. Well, I guess I'm way off. There we go. Crooked. Crooked. I don't like crooked. Okay, there we go. Now it's straight. Whew! Almost made me sweat there. Now we're going to go ahead and add our handle, and we're almost done, guys, I swear. So we did 2 score lines. We're going to fold those back on itself. Ooh, I'm kind of sweating. That one scared me. Okay, so we're going to fold these back on themselves. And then in between the fold, we're just going to take our bone folder and create that curve. So you have that. Now you can do this handle. A lot of their purses are like this, which is super cute as well. That way you have like a little circle. But I wanted it even, so I'm just going to stretch it out to the end of both sides. I'm just going to add a little glue. Then I'm going to take it right here to the very end. Because as you can see, I'm not always great at eyeballing oh my. Okay, well, no big deal. I'll add a little more glue. And I'll hold you in place a little bit longer. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. Out of focus, huh? Push that down and just hold that there. And then I cut these silver tabs with the die cuts out of that same set. They were actually used, I think, to cut windows, but they made the perfect addition to this bag. They fit in here just perfectly. Kind of finish it off. Give it a little flash. I think it would be better if I do it this way. Okay, okay. Put that right there. Push it down. So, if you can't, right there, I just put those silver tabs in there. Then I just want to hang something from the side there, so I just cut again. These were to cut out windows on the stamp set, but I used them to create my key tag. And so I just cut 2 because I wanted more than just white hanging there. And then I took my Night of Navy stamp and whatever sentiment you want. Like I said, I'm using the retired Hello You from Shaded Summer. That's still one of my favorite stamp sets. And then I'm just going to stamp that down. Hello You. And then I'm going to bring in my itty bitty and I'm going to punch a hole. And I'm going to bring a glue dot, and then I'm just going to have that so it's just a little bit offset, like so. Then I just brought in some silver And this is actually a brace flosser. You can buy them at Walmart or Target or anywhere. Dollar Tree, I think. It works perfect for threading things. And I am going to tie it around the handle. Yeah, we have some beautiful silver thread in the annual catalog, or silver, I don't know what you call it, but it's in the annual catalog as well. This was just some leftover stuff I had from a holiday project last year. Cut that down so my key tag hangs on the front, and there you go. Finally done. Sorry the video was so long, but I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and go out there, make it a great week, and happy crafting to you all. Bye-bye for now.